All right, boys and girls, we're going to be finding the difference of 2, 3, and even 4-digit numbers today. Now, I want you to notice that difference means to subtract, and this is the subtraction signal that we see. How many more than are words that help us compare, and when we compare, we're actually subtracting. So be on the lookout for how many more than. And then how many are left? That means that we're going to have to subtract to find out how many are left. So let's go ahead and get busy. All right, I want you to notice that we are working in tens right now because we have two places. So I have 67 and I'm going to take away 24. All right, we're going to pay attention just to this ones place over here. And I want you to notice that the 7 is on top because we are subtracting. So we have to have the bigger number on top in order to subtract. So what I do is I still do some pounding. But this time I'm going to take the bottom number, my lowest number, and we're going to pound 4 in our hands. I want everybody to do that with me. Pound 4 in your hands, and now we're going to count up to 7. So we're going to say 5, 6, 7. That is 3. So notice, I was able to say 7 take away 4 is 3 without any problem. All right, let's move over to the 10 side. And I notice that I have a 6 at the top because it's my biggest number. And I notice that I have a 2 at the bottom. So we're going to take that 2 and we're going to pound 2 in our hands. Let's do it together. 2. Let's count up to 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to give me 4 fingers. So I know that 67 take away 24 is 43. All right, are you guys ready for a little bit of a challenge? I want you to locate our biggest number right now. Can you see we're working with hundreds now because we're all the way in 3 parts. Do you see that we're ones, tens, hundreds? So now we have the number 571 and we're going to take away 358. But we're going to concentrate right now in the ones place. We're looking at just the ones place. I want you to locate where the biggest number is. Do you notice that the biggest number is on the bottom? When we have the biggest number on the bottom, we are going to be in for some trouble because we can't hold up one finger and take 8 of them away. So we're going to have to do some borrowing. When we were adding, remember we carried numbers, but now we go over and we borrow. So if you will go over to the tens place with me, and I am going to cross out those 7 tens because that's 70. And I am going to say, you know what? I'm going to share one of those groups of tens over here with my ones. So now my 1 becomes 11 because I've just taken that from my tens place. I've shared a group of tens over there. When I did that, my tens now become 6 tens because I took a whole group of tens away. All right, now the beauty in this now is where is my biggest number? My biggest number now is up here with my 11. All right, so now I'm going to take this low number 8 and I'm going to pound it in my hand. So pound 8 in your hand and let's count up to 11. 9, 10, 11. That means that I have 3. So if you notice, 8 plus 3 actually equals 11. So I know I'm doing the right thing. Okay, let's move over to the tens place now. And I see that I don't have 7 anymore. I have 6. And 6 is my biggest number because I have 6 and 5. So I know I can pound 5 in my hand and count up 1. And that's going to give me 6 because 6 take away 5 equals 1. All right, my biggest number is going to be located up here, the 5. So we're going to be just fine. I'm going to pop this 3 in my hand and I'm going to count up. 4, 5. All right. So 571, if I take away 358, is going to give me 213. And remember, I had to do some borrowing right here because I did not have enough. All right. Oh man, now we're moving to 4-digit numbers. We have the number 9,229, and we're going to take away 143. So we're going to look at the ones place first. Where is my biggest number? I see my biggest numbers at the top, so I'm going to be just fine. I'm going to take this 3 and I'm going to pound it in my hands. So 3 is in my hand, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's going to give me 6 because 9 take away 3 is 6. Not a problem. Let's move to the tens place now. Where is my biggest number? Uh-oh, my biggest number's down at the bottom. That means I'm going to have a problem. If you hold up 2 fingers right now, you are not going to be able to take 4 fingers from them. So that means we're going to have to go next door and we're going to have to borrow from the hundreds. So I come over and I say, you know, you've got 2 of them. Can I borrow one? And of course, our hundreds is so great that they say yes. So when we borrow from them, now we have 12 as our total. So you see that 12 right there? Now I'm not going to have a problem taking the 4 and putting them in my hand. 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's 8. Well, guess what? When I come over to the hundreds, I forgot that I took one of those away, so now I only have one left. But now I have 100, and I'm trying to take 100 away. That means I no longer have any hundreds left. I'm going to drop down my comma, and then do you see my 9 here? There's nothing down below here. I'm going to put a 0, but you certainly do not have to. I'm just letting it known that there are no thousands, and so 9 take away nothing is going to give me 9. So my total is 9,086 because I did not have any hundreds. All right, now I have 4 digits taking away 4 digits. All right, are you guys ready for this? Here we go. We're going to start in the ones place. Where is my biggest number? My biggest number is on the top, so I'm not going to have any problems. Let's take that 5. Let's pound it in our hand and count up to 6. That is 1. All right, that one's done. Where is my biggest number in the tens place? My biggest number's on the top, so I'm fine. So we're going to take the bottom number, we're going to pound it in our hands, 3, and count up to 4. That's going to give me 1. So far, so good. Let's go to the hundreds place. Where's my biggest number? Uh-oh, it's on the bottom. And guess what? At the top, I have a 0. Well, how can I take 9 away from nothing? I can't do that. So I'm going over to my thousands. I'm going to come over here. He's got 6 of them. So I'm going to take one from him. I'm going to borrow it from him. So I'm going to go ahead and say, okay, he has 5 left. And he is going to share one of those with me. So now my biggest number is up here at the top. And my lowest number is down at the bottom. So I'm going to put that 9 in my hand, and I'm going to count up 1, and that gives me 10. All right, now I'm going to drop the comma. I see that my biggest number is 5 up here at the top. I have a 4 down at the bottom, so I'm going to pound 4 and count up 1. And my answer is 1,111. Boys and girls, I want you to remember that you always need to make sure that your top number is bigger than your bottom number when you're subtracting. If it's not bigger, like in our case here when we had a 0, then you've got to go next door and you've got to borrow from your neighbor. But when you borrow, you can't take one away and have 6. You need to make sure that when you borrow, you cross it off and then you put the new number at the top, that 5 at the top, so that your top number is always going to be bigger when you're subtracting. All right, I think you guys are ready to try some on your own. So good luck today.